see of the dying and shameless, I see of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be great.
Billy, man, it's your man's Conniver here representing D12 and Detroit. Special shout out to my homie MicroMike out here repping for the Detroit Lions for the great city of Detroit. Detroit versus everyone, Detroit versus everybody. You already know what it is. Much love, MicroMike. Keep doing your thing on YouTube. Keep making videos for those Lions, man. We love them. We have faith in them. One pride. Detroit love. Detroit what?
That's exactly it, man. Detroit what? And we got a good one for you folks today. In this show, we're talking NFL draft. We're going to talk a little bit about the signing that we had yesterday, but I got a special guest on for you folks today. He's one of the greatest minds regarding prospects on YouTube. He's one of my go-to guys. It's not Tom Downey, it's Broshmo. What's going on, Broshmo?
Hey, not much. How you doing, brother?
Hey,
dude, that intro slaps.
Punches you in the face, man. It just punches you in the face.
Man, I'm over here like,
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go, man. Getting psyched. Hey,
yeah,
we
I should
have
be
to
a
as
Lions fan.
we have to, man. That's what we got. We don't get a whole lot of wins, so we got to hype ourselves up. Get D12 up in here to help us, man. We need Eminem as well, folks.
Oh man.
Hey, that's what we got. You see that link that is right now up in the description? It is the pinned comment. That is the link to Broshmo's channel. I want all my Detroit Lions fans to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. He's dropping mock drafts like every single day. And he does mock the mock, talks about Mal Kuiper, Todd McShay, and he goes through it. He definitely loves Lions fans because they give him a lot of hell, just like we all give each other on here. Give a shout out to everyone in the chat. We got Chrome, Roger Gawardo, Riley, Bill Collier, Steve Likens, Zach J, Juan Silva, Puman, Rick, Dr. Detroit, Big D73, Ram. We got NFL Draft Junkie. What is up? Make sure you hit that like button right now. 78 in the building, 22 likes. We're going to talk real quick while Broshmo's on here, though. The Detroit Lions did sign a player yesterday. It happened before I went to sleep. If you don't know who he is, really quick, folks, it is DeShon Elliott. He is formerly of the Baltimore Ravens. He is a safety. We need help at safety big time, and he's a veteran, only 24, about to be 25 this week, 6'1", 210 pounds, a thumper, 32 1/4 inch arms. He was drafted in 2018, 6th round, 16th pick. He's 24, like I said. You look at his stats last year really quick. It's pretty good if he was on the field. But the thing is, he was injured a lot. 19 solo tackles, 1 interception, 2 pass defense. When you look at this signing, Broshmo, and the Lions' lack of secondary, do you think that this could be a help for the Detroit Lions?
Oh, hell yeah, man. He is, like you said, he is a thumper. He was kind of the guy, if you go back to, not this past year, obviously, because of the injury, but the year before, they love to run a lot of blitzes. He was one of their prime guys. I think he had like 2 sacks that year. Also, when they go to like cover 1, cover 0, he was typically the safety they had man up on a tight end, running back, coming out of the backfield. Like, he's solid. He's going to be a good complement to Tracy Walker.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have terrible depth at the safety position. Will Harris, he's not really a safety at all. Kind of moving him to nickel corner or whatever position. Capety is what Dan Campbell said. We had a big issue just stopping anything back there, and we do need a thumper. Now, I think the Detroit Lions are definitely going to go into this draft, acquire a safety, because we still need some young help, but we needed a veteran that can hit people in the face. We haven't had that since Quandre Diggs got traded to Seattle, and I think that's something that he can instill. He's a Dan Campbell type of guy, right? Eating kneecaps, punching people in the face. So that's kind of what I think he is. So let me know in the comment section, grade the signing A, B, C, D, or F. A, if you think it's great. F, if you think it sucks. Let me know in the comment section while we just go on about the NFL draft really quick. Okay, this is what we came on here for. Broshmo, the draft guru. The Detroit Lions sitting at 2. You like Kayvon Thibodeaux. I've been watching you for years. You've been talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux for a year.
For a long time.
Long time. Now, there's been talk of Travon Walker from the 20s jumping all the way to 1, potentially 2. I'm not buying it. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux is better than he is. What is the difference between these two? And if you're a GM, what do you pick?
Well, I mean, with Travon Walker, you're going like pure upside. The guy essentially he's coming from playing a rotation role there at Georgia. This being like the most snaps he had in any given year, coming into the year with like a little less than 300, and then like over 500 snaps this season. Like he's been solid. Like he's a run, like in that Georgia defense, it's like run contain first. And so he's going to be a guy you can keep on the field for all 3 downs, but he is unpolished as a pass rusher. He's more of this bull rusher guy. Needs to work on hand placement and such. But you're definitely getting the meat compared to KT, who's your more prototypical. He's got the length, the bend, the explosiveness. He's got the traits you just love. And I mean, I don't mind. The dude's a brand name guy. I get it. Get your name out there and make a little money on it. That's kind of what I am. So I understand. I don't worry about the ego when it comes to KT.
And he's just trying to make a little bit of money right there. So far, everybody says about a B for that safety. $10 super chat. Can't believe you got the king of the NFL mock drafts, Broshmo. What's love? Your channel, Mike and Broshmo. Yeah, absolutely. He is the king of the mock draft. He's the king of the draft. Love the channel. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. It is the pinned comment. Yeah, I think Kayvon Thibodeaux is the pick if Adian Hutchinson is taken at 1. I think they should go Evan Neal, Jacksonville, or Ikem Ekwonu. I think they go ahead and take Adian Hutchinson because he is the safest pick in this draft. You know he's going to get
Walker's getting the hype at 1 now. I don't know about all this. We're getting close to the draft. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's hard to believe stuff. So
I talked to a scout. He says it's smoke. I talked to somebody that's close to the lines. They said it's smoke. I think you see it all. You've seen the tape. I think you probably think a little bit of smoke there. I just don't see it. I looked at Travon Walker. Look, he can stop the run. He reminds me of Trey Flowers, who we just released. Why have another Trey Flowers? He's slow off the get-off, though. Kayvon Thibodeaux is faster, in my opinion. He's got multi-dimensional talent.
Great prospect.
Talk about Kayvon Thibodeaux.
Man, KT, really the only, because people talk about that he quits on plays. And this dude's been an Iron Man for Oregon. Like, the only time he came off the year this past season was because of injury in the Fresno game. And I can see where they say, oh, the motor may not be as hot as some other guys in this class, because I think it's more so when he gets double teamed and he feels out of the play. But you get this guy one-on-one with somebody, then like, watch out. He's gonna like, he annihilated UCLA this past season. So much so that they literally schemed Sean Ryan away from this guy. Like, I don't know why they were out to protect Sean Ryan. That's your best tackle. You would think you would have him go one-on-one, but they just tried to play away from Utah. They had a very successful game against KT, and essentially it was just run away from him. Wherever he's lined up, you're going the opposite way. So a guy that could cause that type of disturbance, it's hella valuable.
Definitely valuable. And to me, I would take Adian Hutchinson if they're between the two. I personally would take Adian Hutchinson. I just don't think he's going to be there. If Adian Hutchinson is available and they decided to go Evan Neal or Travon Walker at Jacksonville, and you're looking at Kayvon Thibodeaux or Hutch, I know, like you say, it's A1, AB. You've said it a lot, but what would you do if you were general manager of the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, with Adian Hutchinson, you're dealing with he may not have the ceiling of a guy like KT, but you know he's got a high floor. He really does. He's a locker room guy. He's a cultural guy. I think that's something Dan Campbell would love. So I mean, I would probably lean Hunch. It's a bit of a safer pick at that point, but again, really can't go wrong with either, I think.
A lot of rumors that was coming along before the draft. I think it's starting to slow off a little bit. Is safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame? I love Kyle Hamilton. I think pound for pound, he's the best prospect in this year's draft. He's my favorite. I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to go there, but what would he bring if the Lions decided to take Kyle Hamilton at 2? What would he bring to the Lions defense?
You have a guy that's very versatile. He may not be a guy you want to play deep consistently, obviously not. I mean, we've seen the 40, but he's very, I would say, reactionary. This guy comes downhill with the head of steam. He's very explosive, I think. He plays very aggro. You just love that mentality. Like, he's almost a headhunter even, like coming up to stop the run. Like, there were some cases they even lined this guy up at corner on the outside. So he just brings a different element where you could just line this dude up wherever, and the offense will have to take account for that. So it would be a good compliment to Tracy Walker too, if you're going to have him hang deep most of the time.
Do you think he probably goes in the top 10, New York Jets, Giants in that area? I know a lot of people saying he's going to fall out of the top 10. It's hard for me to think his talent would get out of the top 10.
Me too, but I'm starting to think it's real. I'm really thinking he slides out of the top 10 now. Like, I was having a hard time believing it, but I mean, he's going to go very quickly after. I mean, I think if you're Washington, you have a hard time passing him up. If you're Minnesota, you have a hard time passing him up. But I could see him maybe slide out of the top 10, just being safety, not a highly valuable position in terms of draft value.
In about 17 minutes, we're going to go to you guys for questions. If you want a question asked to me, just do MicroMike with the hashtag or Broshmo, or just do the one pride, whatever. That's to get my attention so I can see it. We got 126 in the building. Let's get to at least, 55 likes. I think we can do that there. Super chat $1.99. Roger McCreary in the second round to the Lions. What would you think about McCreary going to Detroit in the second round?
That'd be a nice fit because you're going to start him off in the slot early. As far as I know, you don't really have a dedicated slot right now, and a guy that's capable of playing on the outside, a guy that's played in a very man-heavy scheme there at Auburn, very productive, ton of experience, good man technique. Just you worry about the length, and that's why probably the slot's where he's going to be early on. But he is a guy that can play early, so.
If you haven't watched Broshmo, you need to subscribe to the channel. Again, it's the pinned comment, and he says this about quarterbacks. They're sus. They're sus.
They're sus.
A lot of sus going on over here. Obviously, I don't think the Lions take a quarterback at 2. I don't think Malik Willis is going to be the pick. It really doesn't feel like that. But the Lions do got a pick at 32 and at 34. If a player like Sam Howell or Desmond Ridder or Matt Corral falls to the Detroit Lions, do you think any of these guys would be a fit? And what is your draft order of quarterbacks, 1 through 5?
1 through 5. I got Malik Willis, just pure upside. But to be fair, on my big board, he's like 24. So that's where the quarterbacks start.
Yeah.
But then Sam Howell, I'm a big fan of Sam Howell. I think he throws probably the prettiest deep ball in this class. Followed by Desmond Ridder, might be one of the more pro-ready quarterbacks in this class. I like Matt Corral too, and then I got Kenny Pickett. Historically small hands. It's tough to sell me on, to take that in the first round. But man, 32. It's such an interesting thing because you get that 5th-year option, right?
Yeah. And
it's your second first-round pick. Why not swing for the fences? Take a shot. Goff probably long-term isn't your guy. At least to compete, to be a Super Bowl contender in here. We've seen guys like Jimmy G. I would dare even say Matthew Stafford. You only need to be a top 8 to top 12 quarterback in the league. And I think any one of those guys can do that. So from a value standpoint, I would swing for the fences if like Corral, Howell, Ridder were there. So in terms of fit, man, I think Sam Howell, man. I love Sam Howell. Puts so much touch on the football. His offensive line did him no favors. Won't have to worry about it in Detroit. You got a hell of an offensive line. Wouldn't know about that in Miami, though. But maybe this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also lost all his weapons this year, too. And it's like, of course, he had a down year, but still, he put that team on his back. He led that team to victories in an ACC that essentially, yeah, Clemson was down, but we saw like Pittsburgh was better. We saw Miami was hot down the stretch. Being a Hurricanes fan, hopefully that's a sign of things to come. So.
Yeah, I got a question for you, too. I'm going to talk a little Miami Dolphins here, right? Because it's an interesting conversation. We're kind of linked in many different ways. But we got a super chat going straight to you. Would you like it if the Lions were able to trade our number 2 to obtain an additional number 1 for next year's draft? What about trading out of 32? So first off, I like this idea, Steven Likings, because if the Detroit Lions are not trying to get a quarterback this year, if we could acquire another first-round pick next year, kind of what the Philadelphia Eagles did, we'd have 3 first-round picks able to trade up to acquire a quarterback. What do you think about that idea as well?
Yeah, I mean, trading out too, it's hopefully you're going to be getting maybe you're swapping picks this season and then grabbing an extra one next year. I'm all for trading down. It just means taking more swings of the bat. I love that. And I mean, yeah, if you're not sold on any of the guys in this class, trading out of 32 is always wonderful. Again, more picks, more swings of the bat. It's a bet. That's
great super chat, $4.99 here from Chad Lions fan. Any chances Kirby Joseph from Illinois gets snatched up by Detroit? Actually, I did a lot of work on that today. The Detroit Lions right now draft 50% of the people that come in for a visit. That's what they did last year with Brad Holmes. Half the people that was drafted by the Lions, they did a visit. And guess one of these safeties that visited the Detroit Lions? That's Kirby Joseph. And it's a possibility that they may decide not to go safety at 34 or 32, and maybe in the third round, you get Kirby Joseph to pair up with Tracy Walker, as well as our new safety that we picked up yesterday. What do you think about Kirby Joseph in Detroit?
I like Kirby, man. He's a guy that probably the biggest knock on him coming into this year is small sample size. He just became a starter this year at Illinois, which that might be a little bit worrisome. It's like, why couldn't you start any earlier there at Illinois? But this dude does it all. He does special teams. He was a gunner, so he's at least giving you that early on. He's a former receiver, and you could tell this guy's got ball skills. I think he had 4 or 5 picks this year. Just how he tracks the football. It would feel like he's a guy that you could also play deep, similar to Tracy Walker. So you could have Tracy. I mean, you could essentially play both those guys deep, or you could have Walker play in the box. I think Walker played a bit more in the box this year, but then again, injuries. So
and not only injuries, but he had no help next to him whatsoever. It was cheeks.
Yes,
Will Harris
that is also
is the worst safety to ever put on an S for that position. Not bad at corner, but terrible at safety. I like Varen McKinley as well, the safety out of Oregon, 6 picks. That could be something. Maybe in the 5th round he could fall out there. What do you think about him as a developmental safety for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, I'm a bit lower on him, but just size. This guy's going to get destroyed in the NFL. Don't expect him to make a tackle. He's not a very physical guy, but he is that ball hawk. He is that guy that will track the ball and make a play on it. So, yeah, I like him a bit better if you're looking for a value in the later rounds.
Yeah, definitely not the guy I would pick, in the 2nd round or anything like that. Yeah. I want us to talk a little bit about your Miami Dolphins because we're kind of connected here.
Gosh.
And I like talking about this on my channel. I love Justin Herbert. And I wanted my Detroit Lions to not pick Okudah, but pick Justin Herbert. How do you feel about Tua? How do you feel about do you wish they would have drafted Justin Herbert? And do you think Tua could actually be the franchise quarterback for you guys?
Man, that's $1 million question. I mean, we'll find out this year. Like, I think if you can't produce in a Mike McDaniel offense, assuming it's anything like what they ran there in San Francisco, which is just super quarterback friendly, get the ball into the hands of your playmakers and let them make plays. They have Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle, probably 2 of the better guys in the league, maybe the best guys in the league. Once the ball's in their hands, they make something happen of it. So, yeah, if Tua really struggles this year, like I'm hitting the red button eject. We need to get a quarterback. I mean, it's tough with Herbert because coming out, man, Oregon did him no favors. Didn't really get to show off his arm talent in that offense. It was just like screens and the occasional deep shot. So he was such a tough evaluation going into like the off season draft process. But I mean, it was tight. But yeah, no, in hindsight, yeah, I would probably totally take Herbert.
Man, I thought for a while Miami is getting all these draft picks. I'm like, their GM is a magician. Like, I love what they're doing here. But then lately, with the head coach and everything that's taken place, potentially paying people to drop games, like, what the heck is going on here? I'm wondering, do you think that you guys are going to lose some draft picks over there?
Yeah, that's why we're selling them. Tyreek Hill, no, yeah, we'll throw a third in there for him if you want.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not going to have it anyway, so yeah, no, I think we're definitely going to end up losing some draft picks. That's why we don't value them as much. But hey, if we're going to lose them, might as well get some solid players out of it. So
absolutely, I can't wait to watch it. We're connected because our fan base watches it because they say we should have took Tua. We heard it a million times. I mean, we had ESPN just talking about Lions need to take Tua. So from hearing from a Dolphins fan, it's nice to kind of see, what they would have done in hindsight. The Detroit Lions need help, I believe, at wide receiver. Yes, we got DJ Chark. I'm sure you've seen that signing. We got Quintez Cephas. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great pick last year. Love it, getting him in the 4th round. Do you think the Detroit Lions should use a draft pick, maybe 32, 34, to get a wide receiver? I love Treylon Burks. I love Drake London. Those are my two. I know London's not going to be available. But if a Treylon Burks is there at 32 or somehow fell to 34, do you think the Lions should make a move to get that and help out Jared Goff?
Yeah, Burks is a bit interesting because he didn't really get a lot of experience there on the outside. So, like, how will he handle press? I mean, at his size, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. But there's not much nuance to his route tree. He was basically screen, slant, go type of guy. But, I mean, the guy is wonderful with the ball in his hands. That's something I'd say you really don't have that on your roster right now. Though, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown ain't too bad in that category. I think the guy I would probably be highlighting is Jahan Dotson. I think this guy has such a high upside. I think his floor is like a high end number 2 in the league. He's just such a very explosive route runner. Man, yeah, Dotson. The only knock, man, is that size, man.
Yeah,
that size is just could be killer.
The problem with Detroit is we got all small guys. Khalif Raymond, he's like 5'2". I feel like. I think the football's as big as he am when Jared Goff throws it. All you see is a football running. And I feel like we just need size. We need to get bigger. But he is a special player for sure. Now, there's 2 wide receivers linked to the Detroit Lions. Little controversial. I love them both, though. George Pickens and Christian Watson. And it looks like the Lions are targeting one of these guys. Do you think that would be a great addition to Detroit? Yeah, there's some injury concerns in some of these guys, but do you think that would be a value pick if they fell to 34 or 32?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because everyone's been hearing rumblings about Pickens potentially going to 28 at Green Bay. That he's like the hot name there for Green Bay. I'm sure Lions fans love to hear that. Yeah. No, Pickens is just he really hasn't been himself since really his freshman season. He's kind of like the Derek Stingley in this wide receiver class from the injury, but you're getting a guy who's physical. He shows a lot of speed as well, or at least he did at the combine. He's a guy that can go up and make a highlight reel catch. So he wouldn't be too bad. I think especially like this, he's probably one of the better run blockers. You could even say, yeah, Christian Watson is one of the better run blockers in this class as well. Just with Watson, I think he's, for as much as he's been pumped up this draft season, I see MVS, man. I just see MVS. It might be MVS with better ball skills, but he's he's just this guy that's very explosive, and he can get a lot of separation on those deep routes. He's yeah, I just don't know what he's going to really be underneath or in the intermediate. At least with Pickens, he's a guy that can really run that full route tree. With Christian Watson, that's kind of the question mark. So I might lean more towards Pickens then to complement Shark. But then again, Shark's on a 1-year deal. So
yes, and he was injured. You don't know, can he stay healthy the whole time? Seems like all our players that we pick up in free agency are just 1-year deal guys. And we just need some size. We got a super chat here, $4.99 from Roger Guardo. Keep up the good work, fellas. Huge fan. May the football gods be on our side this one coming draft. I hope so. I definitely hope so. We need all the help we can get. If we got to do some human sacrifice, I'm all down for it. Let's get some wins over here in Detroit, man, because it's terrible. Make sure you subscribe to Broshmo. His link to his channel is in the description. It is attached. Again, he is my go-to. Him and Tom Downey. We got Raw Detroit as well as AG. They know prospects. So if you want to know about a player, you go to the channel and you'll figure it out. They do a lot of work over there. So make sure you subscribe for sure. That's what we do. What is a sleeper player for the Lions on offense that the Lions could get? We do need a number 2 tight end. We may need a guard, to back up. Is there a sleeper guy that we could get in the 5th, 6th round, 7th round the Lions could look at to help this offense out?
Man, Connor Hayward's just a guy I always come to when I think the Lions, because I'm like, that's Dan Campbell. This guy's probably a fullback, tight end 2 in the league out of Michigan State. But this dude has ridiculous hands. He creates his own little window for the quarterback to make a pass there. I wouldn't say he's like a Kyle Juszczyk, but he is a solid blocker. I think if you use him in a fullback capacity, I mean, shoot, you got one heck of an offensive line. The run game's kind of a big thing there in Detroit. I think that would be a nice addition in like late day 3.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people like him around here. That is for sure. So you just made a lot of fans. What about defense? What about defense, man? Like, we need help everywhere. Edge, linebacker, on steroids, still at safety, even a backup corner.
Yeah, I think if I was looking on day 3, the name I would be looking at is like Damone Clark at LSU. See how far this guy falls, because he is going to have to redshirt his rookie season. Rookie season. I always say freshman. They're not in college anymore. They're grown men, but they're his rookie season because I think it was a herniated disc. But this cat is a phenomenal run defender. He's got the juice to be a phenomenal pass rusher. Comes downhill with a full head of steam, and he's got decent length. And he's not going to be a guy that makes splash plays in coverage, but he's going to ensure, like, if this guy goes on like a 6-yard slant, that's all he's getting. He's there, no more. No after the catch. Does not exist in his world. So that would be a guy I'd watch, see for the fall, and then maybe pull the trigger on.
That's what it's all about, folks. Now it's your time to shine. Is the mailbag segment. You put in questions.
Oh boy.
Hashtag Lions, hashtag me, hashtag Broshmo. Let us know. It is time for you guys to rule the show. All right, folks. I love it, man. This is where they do their thing, and we just take it and see what they got. It's all about the draft here. Would you take Leo Chenal at 34?
Heck yes.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite players
Yes.
in this draft. He's legit linebacker 1 for me. I am blown away. Like, if you just go to the tape, this guy plays with a heavy motor. Wisconsin was willing to put him wherever. Hey, go shoot the A gap, shoot the C gap. He's got incredible power, and I thought he was going to be this because Wisconsin was very protected scheme-wise, coverage-wise, him and Jack Sanborn. So I wasn't really expecting much from coverage, and typically that's not my cup of tea when it comes to linebackers. But the way he tested out, leads me to believe he will not be a liability in coverage. And I mean, it was freaky how he tested out. Like, just looking at some of his numbers, like the 4.53, the bench was 34. That's ridiculous. A sub 7-second 3-cone. I mean, at the combine, I think it was like 5 receivers had sub 7-second 3-cones. It was insane. Like, I really think this guy can make it in coverage, and even better, he's going to be a phenomenal run defender and a guy you would like to use as a blitzer as well. So
Yeah, I
in
love
with
him.
that
I've
dude.
had him in multiple Lions mock drafts. We need help, definitely, and I think he could be a guy. Well, we're talking about Alex Calzone as a linebacker, and we got Jared Davis, who we brought back, who is the misguided missile. We need legitimate talent in the middle of this defense to really solidify it, in all honesty. Safety at 2 and 32. Well, Riley Elder, I do not believe we're going Kyle Hamilton at 2. I think that's pretty much out of the question. We signed a veteran yesterday, and I didn't think we were going to get one even Kyle Hamilton at 2 even before then. Why? I just don't. I think they're going to go Kayvon Thibodeaux. That is right now we're a negative $5.5 million regarding the edge position on the roster. We're 2 down than we normally do from last year. To me, you go ahead and you draft the edge at 2. It fills the money up, and it adds the edge. They sent 7 scouts and personnel to Kayvon Thibodeaux. They've been talking about Kayvon Thibodeaux forever here. So I think that's going to be the number 2. At 32, maybe a Jaquan Brisker. That could be a possibility. I'm starting to lean more towards Nakobe Dean, and you'll see that in my up-and-coming draft because we do need help again at the linebacker. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Travis Doyley. How do you guys feel about wide receiver Romeo Doubs to the Lions? How do you feel about him? Because he's interesting. He did pretty good at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, he's I don't want to say bigger receiver. I think he's like 6 foot, but he's about 200 pounds. Doesn't play like it. I'd expect a bit more physicality from him at that size. It's just not. He plays like he's a smaller receiver, though he does have that long field speed to really stack receivers on the or corners on the outside. He's going to be a really good downfield threat. How would you say it? His deep ball route tree, I suppose, is pretty darn good. I don't know what it is about his ball skills. This dude just doesn't want to make catches away from his body. And he only, like, through his career, it was like a 5% drop rate, which is really good. But like, you just see some of those drops that he did have, and it's like I think he has ball skill issues, but I don't have analytical proof.
He's Eric Ebron as a wide receiver.
Oh, man.
Oh, it brings us nightmares over here. We can't stand Panhan. Oh, my God. Here we go. Defensive line again in the first 3 rounds. Edge for sure, Chris. I think we go edge. I don't know about defensive tackle. I think if they go DT, that'll be more of a 5th, 6th, 7th round, just kind of a value pick at that point. Go BPA. When you're talking about that, you're looking at just a player who you feel can help out. I just don't believe going Levi last year and Aleem McNeil that they go another defensive tackle that early. And they could shock me, but it's hard for me to believe that. Now, I seen one that was specifically to you. Let me see if I can. Broshmo, how many linebackers do the Lions draft? Love Chenal. What do you think about other Georgia linebackers, Quay Walker and Channing Tindall?
Yeah, Walker's pretty nice. He's a guy that's I've shot up at my board a bit recently. The dude's got good length. He's just a good football player. Like, I feel like on that Georgia defense, he just wasn't. It was hard for him to have a spotlight just because there were so many good players, but he was always solid. I think he's going to be a guy that does better in the NFL. Good size, tested out well. With Tindall, dude's rangy. The dude is a sideline to sideline freak. I don't think he's going to be. I think if you're going to best utilize him, it's going to be like as his blitz and will, because the guy really comes in fierce. One of my favorite matchups at the Senior Bowl was the pass protection drills where he took on Brian Robinson one-on-one, and Robinson took his head off, but he didn't stay with the play, and Tindall basically just turned around, got to the quarterback. I love this guy. This guy's got a motor. I think he's probably gonna like sneak into the 3rd round. I say sneak because I'd be willing to take him a 2nd round, but I think realistically he goes in the 3rd round. Either guy, it really depends on what you're looking for. Linebackers, like pick your flavor.
And we need a lot of flavor over here because right now it's not even close to Flava Flav. Would you trade our 2nd overall pick and Cephas to the 49ers for Deebo Samuel in the 1st round pick and then pay Deebo $40 million per year on a 3-year contract? No. I believe in just go ahead and drafting our wide receivers. Right now, we are in a year 2 of the rebuild. There is a lot of quality receivers in this year's draft. Last year, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. This year is a deep one as well. You can get quality receivers at 32, 34, at 66, even at 99. That is exactly what we're looking for, is to get value. And the wide receivers, the market of paying these guys right now is insane. Insane. I mean, we got the Dolphins fan here. Tyreek Hill just got paid. Do you want to kill our franchise with doing that in a year 2? Maybe in a year 3, year 4, where you're more competing for a playoff spot, but we're not at that spot right now. Would you make a trade like that?
No, and I'm not paying Deebo 40 a year. He's a guy that's like had injuries recently. I don't even think he played all 16 or 17, whatever games we have now, last season. And you got to wonder, like, is a role like his, is that going to be viable for your offense? Or is that something that's like just works in Shanahan's, you know?
Yeah.
So I get why he wants to be paid. I mean, who doesn't? But
yeah.
Man, it's really hard to justify even just $25 million a year for Deebo. It really is.
And it's difficult. You know, I seen these wide receivers get paid like this. When I seen what Jacksonville did in free agency, it just shot me in the face. Is how are we going to be able to get wide receivers now when you're paying these type of contracts out to who I don't think's even a number 1 there, Christian Kirk. And then we kept seeing it go on. So I'm not in that mode. I think we just need to draft our guys. Thoughts on Christopher Allen, edge from Alabama? I had him in my latest mock draft, a later round pick. I think he could be a developmental guy. It's just we haven't seen a whole lot from him last year. What do you think about Allen?
Yeah, I'll never forget. He hurt himself on a sack against the Hurricanes, and I was doing a watch-along on that game. It was great. Just got railroaded by Bama. But, yeah, no, I was really thinking this dude was going to have a breakout year this year. I actually just talked about him, I think, earlier this week in one of my sleeper videos. Just I think he's a name that's probably going to slide mid to late day 3. Yeah. He's a bit undersized at like 241, but he hits that 33-inch threshold you like to see with your arm length. Unable to test out because still recovering from the fractured foot, but I really thought he was going to be a guy that would break out. He was used very heavily in the rotation the year before. I think he had like 6 sacks, or maybe I think it was like 36 pressures, 6 sacks, something like that. But yeah, no, I think he's going to be good. But yeah, it's a guy you have to develop and a guy you kind of have to have a role for, being a bit undersized.
$10 super chat, and thank you for the super chat there, the $1.99. But we got $10 here from Travis. I know you've talked about DeMarvin Leal quite a bit. What do you think about him going to Detroit? I don't think he'd be there at 32, but you've talked about this prospect a lot. What is your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he'll really fit into Detroit's defense per se, but he's a guy that he has to. Sorry,
hey,
my
man,
dog apparently
man,
has an opinion on it. Yeah, I know he's not a big Leal fan apparently, but Leal. All right, I'm gonna kick you out, buddy.
That was special guest dog there.
He's the resident Kansas City Chiefs fan on my channel, man. He's always got an opinion. He's a bandwagon fan.
Nice.
But DeMarvin Leal, man, coming in this year, I loved him. The dude's got great movement skills, but he's a tweener. Came out 283, and unfortunately, he just didn't test like a tweener at the combine. It was an off year this year. I think he put on a little bit of bad weight as they started to move him more inside, and you could see him really struggle against guards and double teams. So at the end of the day, man, I think he's a guy that's going to have to play edge in the NFL. So I don't think it'd be a good fit for the Lions.
$5 super chat for one of my good buddies. He's up there with Broshmo and Tom Downing prospects. That's Raw Detroit. He also has New Era Sports. This guy is very good. You got to check him out, bro, man. This is my buddy. He played at a significant level in college as a running back. He says, Broshmo, do you think the Lions have an impact player on the roster currently, or do they need to draft one in this year's draft? You have impact players in the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, impact player. I mean, you got weapons galore. You got speed over there. We don't really have a whole lot, but do you think that we need these type of impact players?
When it comes to your playmakers, really variety, I think works best in the NFL than rather just having that solo star. Oh, look at Gojo trying to make another appearance. But yeah, rather than having that one main impact player, because I mean, if you look at how did that work for like Aaron Rodgers, he had Adams, but he didn't have he couldn't really rely on Lazard, couldn't rely on MVS. Oh, see, Gojo, he's spoiled. He's like, what about Tyreek Hill, man?
Hey, folks, give a like to your dog there. Put a like for like button. What's the name? Let's do a shout out to the dog right now.
Gojo. Yeah, we're gonna get Gojo merch on the channel soon.
Gojo merch. Make sure you give a shout out to Gojo in the chat. Say Go Joe to the dog here. Special guest, killing it right now on the podcast. We love Gojo.
Hey, he's a little attention hog, man.
It's like my kids,
but
man,
yeah, I think it really does. Oh, yeah, you tell me. I got one on the way, and then already one, I guess already here. But yeah, no, it comes down to just I think the variety is much better. Having a bunch of guys that can do a lot of different things, I think is really the best way to go. It's like I think that's worked really for the Bills. You could say, oh, Stephon Diggs, he does so much, but it's like, he's that crafty route runner. It enables other guys. Like you got Gabriel Davis, who's just this phenomenal deep threat. Cole Beasley, when healthy, was that solid, like just that chain mover. Even Emmanuel Sanders just offered a little bit of everything. I think if you have variety, you don't need that superstar. You got to be hunting for that superstar at quarterback, honestly, at the end of the day.
Here we go, Steelers. Thank you for the super chat there, Black Yellow Texas Steel. I appreciate it, man. I'm not a Steelers fan, but hey, they're in AFC, so I have no problem with them going good. You may, guys, get Malik Willis. Seems like that's a perfect fit over there for Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin there. So let's see, $10 super chat. What do you guys think about wide receiver David Bell to the Lions? Before the NFL Combine, I thought, this could be a option.
All right, know where you're going.
And then he ran. I think he fell quite a bit.
Or walked.
He's a guy that kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What the hell happened to Bell, man? What happened to this guy?
I mean, we knew that was going to be the case coming into the Combine, that even his pro day, I don't think he ran better at his pro day either. That we knew speed. What this guy is, he's almost a running back at receiver. Just the dude can break tackles. He's very good after the catch. He actually got good body control. He's got good hands, but man, you can't be running you're not going to succeed doing a 4.6 or a 4.7 in the NFL receiver.
When you have defensive tackles who run as fast as you, there's a problem going on right now.
Yeah.
If he falls,
he's a good player. I'll still bet on him being a good player.
Hey, I'll take him on maybe with a conditional. If maybe we get a 4th round pick, we don't got one right now. Maybe we trade back and get one if he falls. I was thinking this guy, a big body guy. I'd love to give him the football, but I was like, oh my God, gotta have a little. You gotta be faster than that, man. You can't. You gotta have my hands are bigger than Kenny Pickett's. Okay. To me, you got to have a little bit bigger hands, and if you're a wide receiver, you got to be able to run faster than Rich Eisen. So it's just one of those things going on here. So we'll see, but great question there. Definitely a great question. Let me see. Oh, my God. There's so many questions. Let's see. Broshmo, is the kid getting more draft? Who is getting more draft love? Who is not? Okay. What prospect is getting a lot of love, and who is not that should be getting more love?
Well, I mean, I think we kind of already touched on Travon Walker, man. He's the toast of the town, apparently. But I think one that's not getting I think he's starting to get brought up a bit now. Nick Cross. I am a huge Nick Cross fan. Like, this guy can move. And at his size, he was like about 210, 205 at safety there for Maryland. This dude flies. He is someone who, when they would go to like their cover ones or cover zeros, he was their deep guy. Just go and patrol. And he did that phenomenally well. He's a former track guy. But even better, just I think, is how he reacts pre-snap to the football, being able to kind of like hone in and make plays in the backfield. He comes in like a stinking rocket, a missile. At that point, though, I think he could be a bit of a better tackler. But, I mean, he's your safety. I'd rather him patrolling deep, but yeah, like, the dude hits hard, man. I like it. I like him a lot. Him a lot coming into this class. He tested out great. It was beautiful.
And that's what you need is physicality. Like in Detroit, we've been a finesse team. This is something that we've complained about as a Lions fan base. We've always been finesse, but we need to be a physical team, a team that's in a black and blue division. Go against the Chicago Bears, go against the Minnesota Vikings. They got physical players, so why can't we get physical? And that's exactly the type of players I think the Detroit Lions should target, is that we're here with Broshmo. Again, his channel is pinned comment in the comment section. I want everyone that's in there right now, 226 of you, to go ahead and subscribe to his channel. It is great content. As you can tell, he knows exactly what he's talking about when it comes to talking to prospects. Fantastic work. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We got a question here from Student of Option Game. Give me 2 prospects, Broshmo, with the first-round grades that you feel that can slip out of the first round. You can't choose David Ojabo. Oh, come on, man. You can choose David Ojabo.
I got an unpopular one. Not a lot of people like Bernhard Raimann. I love this dude. I get it. He's 24. I think the learning curve for him it's going to be close to none. I think he's ready to play now. He went to the Senior Bowl, and he looked good. He's coming from Central Michigan, and he was competing against some of these guys like Arnold Ebiketie, Jermaine Johnson, and looking solid. He's quick. He's a former tight end. I think he's a guy that could start now. I think he's definitely, though, going to end up slipping out of the first round. He just doesn't get first-round love. I actually like him better than Trevor Pennon. That's probably one guy. If I had to put my money on another, I guess I could go with Sam Howell. That's kind of my dude. I would be willing to take him in the first round. He was a top 10 pick going into the year before the tragic season. And there's a reason this dude was a top 10 pick. He might need to sit, but I think that's fine. I think that's A-okay. I think he's got the arm talent. So yeah,
after last year's draft,
second round.
After your last year's draft, I went straight to your channel, and you did the mock draft for this year. So that was a year ago. And you're talking about Sam Howell there. I think you even had him at 2 at one point, or up there with the top 5 picks.
Yeah, I had him or Rattler, and then him.
Yeah,
and we saw what happened to Rattler. So
keep going back. Yeah, he'd get up out of here, man. That was a fall off a cliff moment. Hopefully he can turn around, but my God, did he fall off a cliff?
Yeah,
but
I think Beamer at South Carolina will get him in shape. I like Beamer a lot, head coach there.
He needs to get in shape, man, because his fall of grace was something like we've seen from Johnny 8-Ball in the NFL. That was quite a bit. Sam Howell, I like him, though, man. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He's sneaky fast with his legs. A lot of people don't realize this. And, like, in the Senior Bowl, the team that we were coaching had the worst offensive line. It was awful. But he kept marching the team down the field as well. shockingly efficient and accurate, and he's got a big arm. Yeah, he may have to sit a little bit, but oh well. Like, if you look at other quarterbacks last year, Trey Lance sat. Aaron Rodgers sat. A lot of quarterbacks do sit. Mahomes. So it's not the worst thing in the world to take a chance on a quarterback that potentially could be a guy that can help your franchise out for the long haul. What do you think about Trey Turner, another wide receiver that fell off the cliff? $10 super chat there.
It broke my heart. That's what it did. Like last year, I got onto Josh Palmer real early before going into the Senior Bowl, and then he just kind of exploded. And ended up being a day 2 guy, and going into here, I was like, Trey Turner, man, that's going to be my Josh Palmer this year, man. I really like what I've seen from Trey Turner. And then he didn't look special at the Senior Bowl, despite the cornerback group really being Roger McCreary and then everyone else. And he just didn't test out as fast as you'd expect. Like, on the field, it looks like this guy flies, but he came in stupid thin. I think he's like 6'1", 170. And it's like, how are you you're not going to be that after the catch guy at that size. So he was very limited in his route tree there at Virginia Tech. And it just really broke my heart. If he goes, it's late day 3. I could see him going undrafted though, to be honest.
My guy, Raw Detroit here. Now, we went talking about tight ends. We do need a tight end, a number 2 here in Detroit. Now, there's not a TJ Hawkinson or a Kyle Pitts in this year's draft, but there's some decent ones, Jelani Woods and McBride. What do you think about these 2 tight ends? Where do you think they fall?
Yeah, I think right now it's Trey McBride and then the rest of the tight end class. McBride's just solid. He's a good blocker. He's a guy that didn't come in as big as you thought he would be, but at the Senior Bowl, he was making phenomenal catches away from his body. I think he's going to be a solid receiver. He's more of a long speed guy. He's not going to be a guy that makes you miss, but I think it's really him and then the rest of this tight end class. But Jelani Woods, man, I think down maybe 2-3 years down the line with a little seasoning, because this guy, he's physical. If you can get him to play that way in the run game, that's going to be solid. If you get this guy to be more of a diverse route runner, he's going to be real good. Like, the ball skills are there. The dude's just huge. The way he tests out, phenomenal. He needs some season. He needs some polish. But I'm a big fan of Woods. He's probably my tight end too. So
you want a tight end Woods there. Definitely. When do the Lions draft a tight end, and whom would I like? Look, I did a McBride in my last mock draft. People killed me in the 3rd round for it. And I said, man, I'm like, they need a tight end. I mean, well, we got 2 third-round picks, so I threw in there. They killed me. So if the Lions legitimately get a tight end, I'd assume between round 5 and 7, a number 2 tight end. That's what I'm going to look at. Or if they somehow get a 4th-round pick with the trade out early, that's pretty much where I think they're going to get their number 2 tight end. There's a hidden gem here. Raw Detroit loves quarterback Skyler Thompson from Kansas State. Where do you think Skyler Thompson goes? I've seen mock drafts where he's undrafted. I've seen where he goes in the 5th round. Do you think this guy could be a hidden gem and maybe taken a little bit earlier than teams or fans suspect?
I got him as a UDFA, but I think he could sneak into the 7th round because I don't think he plays quarterback in the NFL. I think he's going to be like Blake Bell. He's going to make a move to tight end or something.
So, yeah, that's an interesting one there. I know my guy at Raw Detroit's like, come on, man. He loves this guy. What are the odds the Lions going to trade out of 2? If so, with who? I think the odds are getting unlikely. I'd give it them 15% trading out of 2. The issue is there's just not that guy. I think that's the problem there. So I'm going to give it extremely low % chance that they trade out. But we've been on for nearly an hour, and this is the time where we close the show out. Before we end this show, Broshmo, what do you got to say to the people out there? Tell them about your channel. Tell them where to subscribe, where they can follow you on Twitter, everything.
Okay, well, I'm Broshmo, by the way. Nice to meet you. I know it's not a very professional name, but hey. It's a brand. It's cool. I like it. I do draft talk for basically the whole year. We'll be minute this year's draft's over, we're getting into 2023. I love talking college. I love talking NFL. You can find it at Broshmo on YouTube. You could check me out on Twitter at Real Broshmo. I like to maybe put some spicy takes out there. But yeah, no, if you love football, if you love the draft, that's the place to be. You're missing out.
Hey, appreciate you, bro, coming in, hanging out, talking to Detroit Lions fans. Again, out there, make sure you hit that like button. You haven't done so. That's how we get this thing going. So, Chas Sports and Tom Downey doesn't take his foot and put it up my 2 points of contact. We definitely got to get Tom on here with you. I'd love to see the conversation to get Raw Detroit here.
That's
just
the
having
dream.
Oh, yeah, I'll talk to him. Get just the minds of prospects, just talking. It may have to be till after the draft. He's a fairly busy guy, but that would be straight epic. That would be epic, man, having prospect guys just talk prospects. So appreciate you getting on, man, and can't wait to see what the Lions do and what the whole NFL does in this up-and-coming draft. And it's definitely going to be one that we need to get right, because if we don't, man, people getting fired. With that said, folks, adios.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I